And this is the ping pong championship on the line. What will happen? Oh my gosh, he was hit in the head. Wow, and he's walking away after that embarrassing loss. Man, I sucked at ping pong today. There's only one way to get better. Wait. The first thing you need to know before playing any game and becoming a master at it is the rules. These are the rules that I played by before I looked them up. Rule number 1. Each person gets 2 serves. Then it rotates. Rule number 2. The serve must bounce once on the server side and then once on the receiving side, but then after that, you can hit the ball and it doesn't have to bounce, but it is not allowed to bounce more than once. If the ball does bounce twice on one person's side, the other person will receive a point. Rule 3. If the ball bounces, hits the other person's side, and the other person does not hit it, the person who just hit the ball gets the point. Rule 4. A person may not let the ball bounce on their own side when returning the ball, except for the serve, which I already covered. Next rule. If the ball does not land on the table and lands on the floor on the return, the receiver gets the point. Final rule. If the ball hits a person not on the ping pong paddle, the person who hit the ball gets the point. These are the rules that the Olympics use for ping pong. I used the Olympic rules because those are like the international rules, like the rules that I guess everybody in the world can agree on and play by. Rule 1. A table tennis match begins with the umpire conducting a coin toss. The winner has the options to serve the ball first, receive it, or choose the side of the table they like to play from. This rule can be optional though, as if you are playing with family or friends for fun, the person who decides that can be decided different ways. This rule is just for if you're playing an official game. Rule 2. The server has to hold the ball with an open palm, toss it up, and strike it in a manner that the ball bounces first on the server's side of the table before bouncing over the net to the other side. Rule 3. The receiver, however, can return it by hitting it over the net and into the opponent's half of the table. If the player attempts to return the ball before it bounces, a foul is called. Rule 4. In a singles competition, the service rule allows the server to serve to any part of the table on the opposite end. Rule 5. If the ball hits the net and it fails to bounce over into the opponent's half, or it hits over the net and out of bounds without it coming into contact with the table, the opponent gets a point. Rule 6. The opponent can also be awarded a point if you hit the ball outside the playing surface or if the ball comes in contact with any part of your body while attempting a shot. Rule 7. A player can win the game of table tennis by scoring 11 points, with 1 point awarded for every infragment. Again, this rule can be optional if you're playing with family or friends, as it can be decided a different amount of points scored for whoever wins. This is just a rule for the official game. Rule 8. Every player gets to serve twice in a row. Rule 9. If the points are tied at 10-10, or 1 point away from whatever the deciding winning score is, a player then has to strive for a 2-point lead to win the game. Rule 10. Final rule. A match is won by winning games. The number of games per match varies across competitions and categories, but singles are usually a best-of-7 match event. Now that I know the official rules, the final thing I want to learn were tips, strategies, and different serves in ping pong. I don't have any professional ping pong players with me, so this first strategy is going to be kind of hard to show. You, as the viewer, are going to have to pretend that you're playing against me and I'm the opponent. You're going to be using this strategy and I'm going to be playing against you. So what you're going to want to do is, in the game, you're going to want to hit the ball in this direction. You're going to want to get me in a position where I have to hit the ball, and I'm sort of in the middle, but I'm slightly to one side. So then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hit it in this direction. I'm going to hit it back. And then you're going to hit it to like this side. So then when I play and I try to return the ball, I'm going to have to be like here, but I'm kind of off balance since I was just here, and you hit the ball towards me. I'm off balance and I have to hit it at a weird angle. So then when I return it, then you hit it on this side, and I either miss it, I'm off balance so I can't get to it, or something like that. This is called playing to your opponent's elbow, because as you see here, I start here and then I kind of go here, my elbow's at a weird angle, so I have to hit it, I'm off balance, and then I can't get to the next ball. I'm going to try to show you an example, but things are going to go kind of fast. So, pretend you set me up in a position, you got me like this, right? So I hit the ball, I'm off balance, and now I can't reach the ball. Another thing I learned is that you don't want to hit the ball as hard as you can for the first part of the match. You're going to want, your instinct, you're going to want to hit as hard as you can to get your opponent like off balance, or so that they aren't quick enough to react and hit it. That's not what you want to do. For the first about 5 hits or so, you really just want to focus getting spin on the ball. And as the game progresses, the speed will pick up. So you don't have to worry about going as fast as you can and swinging as hard as you can. That's how a lot of mistakes are made, is because you're hitting it too fast. So you either hit on your own side, you hit it against the net, you don't even hit the other person's table, so you hit it off the table. So you're just going to want to, for the first like 5 hits back and forth, just really focus on your spin. So I'm telling you that you need to spin the ball. Well, you might not know how to spin, so this is how to spin the ball. There are 2 types of spins that I learned, the top spin and the underspin. So I'm going to show you what a normal hit looks like first. This is just if you're hitting the ball just flat and no spin at all. This is what the ball looks like. It just goes normal, right? When you put spin on the ball does not just go like that. Watch. Do you see how the ball moved differently? And how the ball didn't go off the table and it just stayed on because it was coming back? That was the top spin. For underspin, it did go off the table, but the movement was different about the ball than the normal hit. So how do you do a top spin? For top spin, you want to bring the ball from lower to higher, like that. That's how you want to move the paddle. You also don't want to hit the ball at all. You don't want to go like that. You want to let the ball come to you, and so then the paddle just brushes the ball. If you can just do what I'm doing right now and you're not even hitting the ball, you can feel the ball spinning in your fingers. For an underspin is different. So for the top spin, you want to bring the ball lower to higher, like that. But for an underspin, you want to bring the paddle like this. And you want to like chop like you're chopping a tree. You don't want to have the paddle flat, but it's going to look kind of flat. You do want to have it at a slight angle though. And again, you don't want to hit the ball. You don't want to go like that. You want to like have the ball come to you and brush the ball. See how it's spinning? That will give it the underspin. The last tip I learned is almost a 2-in-1 tip. Just like any sports game or any competition in any part of life, to win, you need to study your opponent's moves. This way you can see and get a feel of what they're doing, and you can try to counter it by noticing what they're doing and then noticing that during the game and doing the opposite to make them mess up. The second part of the tip kind of ties into the first part, is to mix up your serves. You need to know lots of different ways to serve. If you're doing the same thing over and over again, your opponent will notice what you're doing, and because you're just playing the same game over and over again, you're starting it the same way. You need to start the game different ways in order to mix things up, and then your opponent can't see what you're doing as easy. So for this final part of the project, what I learned were different kind of serves. The first serve is the spin serve. For this, you're going to want to have your backhand facing up, and you're going to want to have the paddle slightly pointing down. What you're going to want to do is just do a karate chop motion down. You're going to want to meet the ball about right here on the front of your racket and just slice through like that. The ball will then spin on the other side. If you saw it kind of slowed down at the end there, that's because it was spinning back. The next serve is called the kicker serve. It's called the kicker serve because it will bounce on your side normally, but when it bounces on the opponent's side, it will sporadically bounce up or forwards unexpectedly. To do this serve, you want to throw the ball up and contact the ball about here. And once you contact it, you want to flick your wrist like that. And then it'll get a good spin. This serve is hard to see visually on the table on camera, but it is very noticeable when you play it during a game because you'll see that the ball will unexpectedly go in a direction that you don't expect it. The last serve, which is my favorite serve, is the ghost serve. For this serve, it's going to bounce on your side, but then when it bounces on the opponent's side, it's going to come back. To do this, you're going to want to have your paddle angled slightly up like this. And when the ball makes contact with the paddle, you're going to want to make contact right here on the very edge of the paddle. And you're going to want to tilt the paddle slightly back. You're not going to want to hit the ball here. You're going to want to hit it more here. And you're going to be angled back a little bit, so when you hit it, you slice it up that way. Also, when you hit it, you're not going to want to hit it straight. You're going to want to hit it slightly up. But if you hit it straight, you're going to end up hitting it on the side, and it's going to go really far, and it's not going to spin back. Am I a ping pong pro now? Definitely not. Did I get much better skill-wise and have more knowledge of the game now? Definitely. Just like anything, with practice I will get better. I was on a time constraint, however with more time and practice, who knows? Maybe I will be a ping pong pro. I hope you learned something too and are inspired to be a ping pong pro. Thank you for watching.